go ahead and go over the answers for the warm-up. For problem number 1, a bag of marbles has 12 blue, 6 white, and 20 red. We want to know what percent of the bag is going to be blue. So remember, with situations like this, you need to identify the part, the whole, and the percent to set up your percent proportion. You guys need to get really comfortable with proportions because we're going to be using them the entire unit, especially when we get into our stuff for today. So we need to identify what the part is, the whole, and the percent if given to us. So here, they want to know what percent of the bag is blue. Blue is just part of the bag. Blue is just going to be part of the bag. So how many blue? 12, right? The 12 blue, that's just part of the bag. So we're going to put 12 for the part. How many whole? So how much total is in the bag? That's something you actually have to figure out. How do we figure out how many total are in the bag, Eileen? By adding how many blue, white, and red there are. So we're going to add the 12 blue, the 6 white, and the 20 red to get a total of 38. So our whole is going to be 38. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see this a little bit easier. Okay, the whole is going to be the 38. Okay, now the percentage, that is what is missing because that's what we are trying to figure out. We want to know what percent. So since the question is saying what percent, the percent is the value that is going to be our variable. So we're going to go ahead and put an X there. So now we set it up. Remember, the setup is part over whole equals percent over 100. So we're going to set it up as 12 over 38 is equal to X over 100. 12 over 38 equals X over 100. Then we do the cross product. We're going to multiply 38 times X, which is going to give us 38X. Then we're going to multiply 12 times 100, which is going to give us 1,200. So we now have the equation. 38X is equal to 1,200. The last step is to divide both sides by the 38. Right? Inverse operations, the inverse of multiplication is division. And we'll find out that our percentage of blue is going to be about 31.6%. Because notice it does say to round to the nearest tenth. The nearest tenth means 1 decimal place. And I don't believe, if we round, or sorry, if we actually were to go ahead and do our multiplication or division, it's hard to see it, but 1,200 divided by 38 is going to come out to 31.57894, and it just keeps going on and on and on, right? So if we're going to get approximately 31.5789, and it just keeps going, the 10th place value, the 10th place is that one number behind the decimal. The 10th is one number behind the decimal, so we need to look at the number directly behind it to tell us whether we're going to keep it as a 5 or round it to a 6, which we would round it up to the 6, so 31.6. I want you guys to write up at the top here, because a lot of you have forgotten how to round correctly. So please remember that if you have a number and then you have a decimal, so I'm going to go ahead and put that arrow as a decimal. This first value here is the 10th. That's the 10ths. Then you're going to have the hundredths. Then you're going to have your thousandths. Okay, so it's going to keep going. 10th, 100th, 1,000th. Then you have 10,000th, 100,000th, millionth. Keeps going. But these are really the ones that you need to focus on. We tend to have to stop either at 10ths, 100ths, maybe sometimes even thousandths place value. So you need to know that the first number behind it is the 10th. The second number behind that is the 100th. The third number behind the decimal is the thousandth place value. And you always look at the number behind the one that you're wanting to round to. So if I say I need to round to the nearest 10th, then I need to look at the 100th place value to see how to round that 10th. If I say to round to the 100th, I need to look at the thousandth place value to see how to round to the 100th. And please don't get confused, because sometimes you guys go, oh, I need to round to the nearest hundredth. So then you round to the nearest 100. Hundredths and hundred are different. If it doesn't have a TH, so if it's just tens, hundreds, thousands, that's before the decimal. Anything behind the decimal has that TH at the end. Okay? All right, number 2. Problem number 2. Jess got 3 questions wrong on a 25-question test. I want to know what her grade is. And I was nice enough to even put down that we're looking for percent correct. Okay, so if we're looking for the percent correct, and I know how many she got wrong, then how many did she get right? She got 3 wrong out of 25 questions. How many did she actually get right? 22. Okay, she got 22 questions correct. All I have to do is take 25 and subtract 3, and that's how many questions correct she got. Remember, when you're given a grade, your grade tells you that you were successful on this percent of the assignment. So when you look at your assignment and you're like, ooh, I got a 90. The 90 is telling you you got 90% of this assignment correct. You were successful on 90% of the assignment, which means 10% of the assignment you were not correct on. So in years past, when I used to post this question, I didn't include percent correct as part of the question. I always just wrote, hey, what's her grade? And I can't tell you how many times people would tell me that they're going to set it up as 3 out of 25 equals x over 100. And then they would find that their percentage was 12%. So they're like, oh, her grade was 12%. If you only missed 3 questions on a 25-question test and you're telling me your grade is 12%, I think you lost a lot more than just 3 questions. So you need to make sure that you're thinking through these situations, okay? All right, so again, the part in this situation is not going to be 3 because we're looking for the amount correct. It's going to be 25 minus 3, which is 22. That's the part. That's how much she got correct. Then the whole. The whole is just the entire test itself. So that was 25 questions itself. Again, we're trying to figure out what her grade is, which would be the percentage, and we don't know that yet. So when we set this up, we're going to put 22 over 25. And we're going to set that equal to x over 100. 22 over 25 equals x over 100. Then we just perform the cross product. We're going to do 25 times x and 22 times 100. 25 times x gives us 25x, and 22 times 100 is 2,200. Then you just divide. You're going to divide both sides by 25, and you'll find out that her percentage on the test is an 88%. So that means she correctly answered 88% of the questions. All right, problem number 3. Tim ate 80% of his Halloween candy. If he ate 36 pieces, how much candy did he originally have? And then how much candy does he actually have left over? So this is a 2-part question. How much does he have originally before he started eating his candy? And then how much of the candy is remaining? Okay, so we do know a percentage. He ate 80% of his candy. So there's our percent. Now, he ate 36 pieces. Is that a part or a whole? Part, right? He didn't eat all the candy. He only ate part of his candy. And 36 is what he actually ate. So that's going to be the part because that's what he actually ate. So we'll put part is going to be 36. The whole is what's missing. That's how much we're trying to figure out. How much did he actually have to begin with? So that's the whole. That's our x. So we'll start off by doing 36 over x. And that's equal to 80 over 100. So we'll cross product. We're going to do x times the 80, which is 80x. And then 36 times 100, which is 3,600. Last, we'll go ahead and divide both sides by 80. Oops, I wanted to do that in pink. We'll divide both sides by 80. And we'll find out that he originally started with 45 total. That's how much he originally had. Now, my second question is, how much does he have left? So if this is how much he started with, how do I figure out how much he has remaining to eat? Eileen? Very good. We're going to take 45, which was his original amount, and we're going to subtract how much he actually ate. So 45 minus the 36 will tell us how much candy does he still have left. Okay, so he's got 9 pieces left over. Any questions about that? 45 that he started with, 9 pieces that he's got left over. Okay. All right, so talking about tips, tax, and discounts. Let's start first with sales tax. So like I said before, sales tax, it's just the amount that you pay. So when you purchase an item, you have a percentage of tax that you have to pay on it. Your percentage is going to be different depending on where you are. Each county has a different percentage. States have different percentages as well. So you would be paying based off of where you live or where you are purchasing the items or where you're shopping at. So basically, your sales tax is just an additional amount of money. It's just an additional amount of money that is charged on items that you are buying. Okay, so when you go and you purchase an iPad, you are paying a sales tax on top of it. When you purchase certain food items, you might be paying tax on those as well. Okay, and notice I put sales tax because there are other forms of taxes like income tax. When you make a paycheck, you pay taxes to the government. You pay taxes on property that you own. You pay taxes on your car. So when you are renewing your car registration, there's an ad valorem tax that you're having to pay as well. So there's taxes on different things. Property taxes goes sometimes towards keeping the upkeep of properties. You've got, income taxes might be going towards different government projects. So you have to pay taxes no matter what. If you work a job, you're paying taxes. Money's coming out of your paycheck for that. Okay. You also have the concept of tips. So again, tips are considered to be something that is optional, but in the service industry, it's highly recommended that you do that because again, a server doesn't make a paycheck like a teacher might or a doctor might. They make a very minimum paycheck and they depend on the tip that they receive. So it's a small amount of money that you would pay in return for a service being provided. So like a food service or a delivery service or a cleaning service. Okay, so again, these items right here, sales tax and tip, these two items are going to increase the price you pay. They're going to increase the price that you pay. So when you go and you look at a shirt and you're like, oh, the shirt is only, $19.99. You're not going up to the register and only paying $19.99. You are paying tax on it. So that tax is going to increase the price of the shirt. Okay, when you pay for a meal, so if you go to a restaurant and your lunch was $15, but then you want to pay for a tip to your waiter or waitress, you would be increasing how much comes out of your pocket. Okay? Now, again, like I stated before, for bad service, if you get bad service, I would recommend that you do no less than 10%. Okay? If you've got some good service, you can do anywhere between 15 to 18 or 15 to 20%. And if you've got great service, you should do anywhere between 20 to 25%. If you want to go higher than that, you're more than welcome to. Okay? Now, you also have something that's called commission. So, commission is kind of similar to what you would have as a tip. It's similar to a tip, except your customer is not paying for your commission. So if I go to a restaurant and I order food, I have to pay the tip. The tip comes out of my pocket. But if I go to a store and the store works on commission and I buy an item, I'm only paying for the item. It's the store itself that's going to provide their sales clerk a commission. So for example, I used to work at a luggage store. So I would sell luggage to different people who come in. They needed to purchase luggage. And depending on how much luggage I would sell, I got 6% commission. So if I sold a $100 suitcase to somebody, I got $6 for that. Okay, doesn't seem like much, but I do remember that, you know, Warren Sapp, I don't know if anybody knows who Warren Sapp is, but he was an amazing football player, and he played for the Buccaneers for a long, long time. And he was one of my best clients, and he would come in and he would purchase what was called Toomey luggage. He would spend thousands of dollars in just one shopping spree on luggage, and I get 6% of that. So you're talking, if he's spending $5,000, I'm getting $120 right there just for giving him luggage and not doing much on my own. Plus, I get my paycheck. So commission is a nice thing to earn. Car dealerships, your car salesman works on commission. Stop touching his hair. It's not nice. Your car salesman works on commission. So anytime you go to purchase a car and they're like, oh, this is the best I can do. Man, I'm not going to make any money off of this sale. They're lying. They're going to make a ton of money off of their sale. Okay, they can do a whole lot more too. They just don't want to lessen the amount that they're selling to you because they earn a commission off of what they can sell to you. So when they're selling you a car, and again, cars are anywhere between 15 to, you know, if you go real high end, let's just say you go moderate, it could be anywhere between $15,000 to $45,000 that you're spending on a car, and they're making quite a bit of money off of that from you. So when they say that they're not making anything off of it, it's a lie. It's just a gimmick that they tell you so that they can make you feel like you're getting a great deal. Okay? But commission is just the amount of money that's earned off of the amount that you sell. Go ahead, you can sharpen your pencil. So you have to sell something to be able to earn a commission off of it. And again, not every single job that you have where you sell stuff do you earn commission. Okay, so a lot of times commission used to be very common when you worked in a mall. So if you were somebody who worked in a store in the mall, you made commission. That's kind of disappearing a lot right now. A markup. So a markup, you guys experience markups all the time. When you go and you purchase your shirt. So let's say that you go to, I don't know, Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay, I had to buy my daughter pants from there because they fit her. And they were like $60 for a pair of jeans. They're expensive. I don't like buying clothes for kids anymore. They're very expensive, $60. But I guarantee you the cost to make those pair of jeans was probably 10 cents. So 10 cents to make them. And then the company that makes them, or the factory that makes them, isn't going to sell them to the company that's going to want to sell them. So I'm a small mom and pop factory. I make them 10 cents per jeans. Now I'm going to sell them to Abercrombie and Fitch for $3. Okay, so I'm making a whole lot of money. My percent of income that I'm making off that pair of jeans is going to be pretty high. I'm selling it to Abercrombie and Fitch for $3, and then Abercrombie and Fitch is going to go ahead and say, hey, instead of $3, I'm going to sell it to my customer for $60. So they mark the price up because that's how they make a profit. So whenever you're going into business for yourself, you always have to think, how much does it cost me to make the item? And how much time am I spending making the item? And then you need to mark the price up to not only reflect the time that it took you to make it and to reflect the money out of your pocket, but also so that you can then make a profit off of it. Lexus, stop it. Okay, so the idea of the markup is to help you make a profit out of whatever it is that you are trying to sell. So it increases the amount that the store paid. So the store pays for the item, and then they increase the price so that they can make their money back plus some. So actually a very common concept of this is Target has their small business line. They've got each month they go ahead and they spotlight a small business owner that has a product that they're wanting to sell. And so Target is going to sell that person's product at a much higher price than the person themselves would have sold it. Because Target wants to make sure that they're making a little bit of a profit off of it, but then they also have to be able to pay the small business owner that's selling their product as well through their store. Okay, same thing with Amazon. Okay, if you want to sell something on Amazon, if you want to be a storefront on Amazon, Amazon's going to get a certain percentage of what you're selling. So you want to make sure that you're marking your prices up enough that you're not only making a profit, but that Amazon's also making a percentage off of it as well. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. This is really important when you're thinking about maybe becoming your own business owner. Okay? All right, now all of these things are considered to be, these increased prices that you are paying. A markup is increasing the price that you would pay out. You're paying an original or a marked up price. It's increased from the company. Commission is just something you're earning off of it. The only thing that's a subtraction is going to be called a discount or a sale price. So when we talk about discounts, that's going to be the amount of money that is being taken off of a regular priced item. And you probably see it all the time in the store. You're like, oh, these are sale items, and then these are clearance items. The only difference between a sale item and a clearance item is clearance items are typically final prices, meaning that once you buy it, you cannot return it. Sale items, you tend to be able to purchase it at a discounted price, but if it doesn't work out for you, you can still return it. Clearance items are just even further discounted. So they originally were on sale. Now they're discounted even more. And then you can no longer return them back to the store once you purchase them. But that's the only difference between it. Okay, and again, the key words that you're looking for with discounts. If you're talking about a discount, you're talking about sale or clearance. And this is going to be something that decreases the price. Okay, it's a sale or a clearance, and it decreases the price. And like I said before, that percent proportion that we've been using for the past few days is going to be used throughout this entire unit. You will use your percent proportion to be able to identify how much tax or tip or commission or markup or discount is going to be applied. But it's really important that you read the questions carefully, because sometimes the question might be only asking for the tip. Other times it might be asking for the total amount that you would pay. Okay, so you need to know the difference between the two. All right, let's start with an example. Let's say that we have a soccer ball. Costs $30 and tax is 6%. So what is the taxed amount? Okay, so a soccer ball is $30 and tax is going to be 6%. We want the taxed amount. Okay, so when we set this up, it's important that you understand that tax is a part. So when we're setting these problems up as part over whole equals percent over 100, your tax is considered to be the part. Your initial cost is the whole. Your initial cost is going to be the whole. So right now we don't know the taxed amount, but we do know the tax percentage. We do know the tax percentage. So when we set this problem up as part, our part is what's missing. It's the X. We do know the whole. The whole is how much the initial cost was for the ball. So the initial cost of the ball is $30. So we can put 30. And then the percentage is at 6%. So then when we set the problem up, we're just going to put X over 30 equals 6 over 100. X over 30 equals 6 over 100. And then we just do the cross product like normal. We're going to multiply X times 100. Mario, focus. Then we're going to multiply 30 times the 6, which is going to give us 180. And then we just need to divide both sides by 100. And X is going to equal 1.8. But we're talking about money. 1.8 is $1.80 for tax. So the amount of tax that you would be paying is $1.80. So now this is based off of the fact that the question says, what is the taxed amount? But what if the question said, what is the total cost? So instead of it saying, what is the taxed amount? What if I said, hey, we've got a soccer ball that's $30 and tax is 6%. What's the total cost of the ball? Or how much are you going to pay for the ball? What would we do once we found the taxed amount? What are you going to do with the tax amount? Huh? Add. Add to what? You're going to add it to the initial cost, right? You're going to add it to the cost that the ball was. So the ball was $30. If you go to the shelf and you say, oh, here it says $30. Again, you're not paying $30. You are paying $30 and you are paying the tax. So you would then take your $30 and you are going to add the tax. So you're going to add the $1.80. So that means that your total cost is going to come out to $31.80. So it's important, it's very important that you know how to distinguish between whether they want the taxed amount or whether they want the total cost. Do they want the tip amount or do they want the total amount you're paying? Do they want the discount or do they want the new sale price? Okay, so you need to make sure you're paying close attention to the question that's being asked. Go ahead and take a few moments to write that down and then switch on over to the next page in your notebook. Okay, we got a hoverboard, costs $280, but Amazon's going to have it on sale for 35% off. Want to know how much is Amazon selling it for? So first thing we need to do is identify the part. The discount. The discount is going to be your part. We don't know the discount. We don't know how much Amazon's reducing the price by. So that's the part that's missing. We're going to put an X there. Again, your initial cost is your whole. The initial cost of the hoverboard was $280. So there's the whole, $280. And like always, a percentage has a percent sign behind it, so 35%. So we're going to set this up as X over 280 equals 35 over 100. Then we just do the cross product. We're going to do 100 times the X, which gives us 100X. We're going to do 280 times 35, which gives us 9,800. Then we just divide both sides by 100. And we're going to get X is equal to $98. Is that how much Amazon's going to sell it for? No. $98 represents the discount off. $98 is representing just what the discount, the amount that they're going to take off is, not how much they're going to sell it for. So they're going to discount it by $98. What do we then need to do? Subtract. Good. So we're going to take the initial cost of $280. We're going to subtract the $98. And that's going to tell us our discounted price, how much Amazon's going to sell it for, which is $182 total. That's how much they're going to sell the hoverboard for, $182. Now, it's important that you know sometimes you might have more than one percentage value happening. So if you happen to have a problem that has tip and tax, because when you go to a restaurant, you order food, you order your drinks, you pay taxes on the food and the drinks, and then you can tip. So you're paying tax and tip. When you pay taxes and you're tipping, all you have to do in this case is add the percentages together. And then work it out like normal. So if I know, oh, I've got 6% tax and I want to give a 20% tip, then my percentage is going to be 26. So let's write that down as a little example. 6% tax and 20% tip equals a 26%. So when you're working the problem out, you would use 26% instead of just the 6 or the 20. Now things are a little bit different. If you've got a discount and you've got discount and tax, or discount and tip, because sometimes you might have a coupon at a restaurant. So if you've got a discount and you've got tax, then you first have to find the discount and then subtract. Then you use the new total, the new discounted total, to find your tax or to find tip. So you first have to find the discounted amount. Use the percent of discount, find out what the discount amount is, take that discount away from your total, and that becomes a new total. Then use that new discounted total to find your taxed amount. All right, James bought a $15 lunch. Tax is 5%, and he plans to tip 15%. How much is his total meal? Okay, so we have tax and we have tip. When we have tax and tip, what did I say that we have to do first? Add the percentages together. When we have tax and tip, we're going to add those percentages together. So we are going to add the tip percent and your tax percent. So that means we're going to take the tax percent of 5% and that 15% for the tip. We're going to add it together. Our percentage that we're going to use is 20%. So when we're working through the problem, we're going to use 20% as our percentage. So I'm going to go ahead and write percent is 20. $15, is that my part or my whole? Whole, right? That's the initial price. That's the initial cost. That's the whole. $15. We do not know how much we're paying in taxes or how much we're paying in tip. That's the part that we're looking for. That's the X. So we're going to set it up X over 15 equals 20 over 100. Glory, focus. X over 15 equals 20 over 100. We're going to cross product. We're going to do 100 times the X, which is 100X. We're going to do 15 times 20, which is 300. And then we're going to divide both sides by 100. And that's going to give us X is equal to $3. So that $3 represents the tip and the tax. That represents how much he's paying for tip and tax. Is that what the question's asking? Does it want to know how much tip and tax he's paying? Or does it want to know the total meal? Needs to know the total meal. So what are we going to do from there? We're going to add it. Good. So we're going to take the initial cost, which was $15, and we're going to add the tip and the tax onto there. And that's going to give us $18. Tomorrow in class, you'll have a worksheet that you're going to be working on. It has to be done halfway through class because we're going to check it in class. Go ahead and pack up.